Hey guys, I'm back and I'm here to show you my reading journal for 2019. Now, I got a real late start on this. I did this last weekend because I don't know, I wasn't feeling really up to it at the end of the year. There was a lot going on, and even at the very first week of January, I still wasn't up to my normal regular self. So it took me a minute to get started. And then once I did get started, I was watching lots of videos and checking Pinterest, and I fell down the freaking, rabbit hole, or into the black hole of bullet journaling and reading journals. There is a lot out there. The problem is that you have to pick what you think will work for you, test it out, and see. So that is, you have to be prepared to maybe change if you see that what you set up is not working for you. So as you know, I had last year a mix of bullet journal, sort of kind of reading journal, but not exactly. And that's these two. So I managed to fill up this one completely, and this one only about halfway through this red one, and all the way through this one. So I said this year what I'm gonna do is I'm going to do a reading journal. I have my bullet journal, which I'm in the process of setting up as well. I'm so late to the game on that as well. And then I have my Chic Sparrow that I use for my sort of, daily and weekly journaling about, what's going on with me. So this is it. This is the Leuchtturm 1917, I think it is, in yellow. And why did I pick yellow? I don't know, because I like yellow, but I like lots of colors. So, last time I had gray and red, and these are soft covers. Whereas this Leuchtturm is a hard cover. So yeah, it is what it is. Now you might see some smudges on this yellow cover. It's because I was not so good with doing all this work. I was kind of messy. I was using a lot of ink, and my fingers were dirty, and I just wasn't paying attention, about, leaving smudges behind and stuff like that. So try to just ignore that. So this is what it looks like when it opens up. Now, this I put in myself, which is nothing more than a photocopy that I found online. I can't really tell you exactly where. I found it in one of those, free things. But it was a sheet that was about the size of one side of this journal. And so I decided to put one here and one here. But what wound up happening was every time I closed it and reopened it later, the middle was popping back up again. So that got on my nerves. So I had to then cut out another strip. I don't know if you can maybe see it, that you can see kind of like there's a strip in the middle that I used to cover that gap that kept popping up like that. So now it just, it doesn't look, it's all right. I did the cutting so that it fit what was already there, so it's not as obvious. So that's what I used for my end papers on this side. And we have end papers back here as well. So this side, as you see, this is not very pretty right there, but hey, my cutter was a little blunt on this one. But I covered this part, and this is the pocket that's in the back. So I just covered the exterior of the pocket to make the end papers in the back. So yeah, I saw that and I quickly jumped on it because I thought this, the end papers makes my journal more personalized to me. And I think that's one of the main things is whatever you decide to do, there's no wrong or right way to do it. It's the way that works for you, and the journal expresses you and the way you want to present your reading year. Okay, so this first page is a tracker page. social media tracker page, because most of my social media is around my book reading and my book sharing. So I did a typical tracker. I've got, you know, the months of the year here, the total at the end, so I can see how much I gained or lost of followers. So I'm tabbing YouTube here. Let's see if I can get a bit closer. Yeah, so I've got YouTube here, Instagram, Litsy. Yes, I'm on Litsy, but I don't really like Litsy. I don't know, I feel like I'm in a vacuum or something, or I'm in some kind of closed-in bottle when I'm in Litsy. So I don't go on very frequently, but I do go on at least once or twice a month. And then also Twitter, which I've been kind of falling off the wagon with Twitter. Sometimes it kind of annoys me and I just can't seem to get into the swing properly. I'm never on at the right time anyway, but hopefully this year I will be more present on Twitter. So this is where I'll be, you know, keeping my tab on my numbers. So my numbers actually go from my journal last year. So you see, this was 2017. It was like this. So I started doing it in June. So I was a bit late. So I started in June 2017, and you know, there's my total. And then I glued that one into this one, and this is where, you know, I tabulated 2018. All right, so that's that. Now, I went on, and these are the theme or topic or subject pages, as they call them. So these are the pages where you're meant to put what are on the pages you've already prepared. So as you can see, I've started, you know, writing down the subject of the pages that I've done, and that's what I'm gonna stick to that. I think I will have enough to go, you know, the whole year. And if this isn't enough, then I can continue on here. Now, here I cut these books out of the Folio Society catalog because I didn't feel like drawing them, and I thought these looked really cool and they fit here. And later on, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add little decoration here so it looks like it has bookends on both sides. So that's what I'm going to do for that. Now I start with my first page is let's see, my first page are my reading goals. It's my first page. So I just simply put some overall reading goals here that I hope to stick to better than I did last year, you know, which is mostly to read 50 books this year, but also to read 10 Caribbean books, 10 big books, and the big books are 400 pages and over. Also to read Toni Morrison's Paradise and Love, because those are the only two books I haven't read from her. Finish reading Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie's books. Like, I have to read The Thing Around Your Neck and Purple Hibiscus, and then I'll have read all of hers. And also to read mostly my own books. And I'm doing a hashtag backlist 2019 because I want to read a lot of backlisted books. I will be reading new books, don't get me wrong, but I'm going to try to read more backlisted, a lot more backlisted than new books. And of course, another thing is to read at least 3 short story collections, because I want to try to get into reading a short story a day. I got this idea from Michael Reads. He does this, and I think it's fantastic because I need to get more into reading short stories. And it's also another way for me to keep up with my goal to read at least 50 to 100 pages a day. So if I can at least get into reading 50 to 100 pages a day, I'm more likely to get through all of these goals, I think. So the next page are the books that I've read in 2019. So as you can see, I've only filled in 2 for the moment, although I have read 4 already. This is the same as I did last year. I just took the same template, I colored it and glued it in. nothing complicated. I will then write the title in and color it. You know, I'm not coloring them, you know, I'm not doing all January books are blue and all February or red, or I'm not doing that. I'm just making it a colorful bookshelf. And you will see it grow as the year goes on, and I will see it grow. I think on these shelves there are exactly 60 books. So if I can fill it up, I'll have done more than my Goodreads goal. Next, I have, this is going to be where I put my list of big books that I read. Now, I haven't picked out any big books in advance because you know me, I'm not good with the TBR situation. So I'm going to be picking the big books as, you know, as the months go on, and depending on what I'm reading, the time will determine which books I can read. Now, you could do it where you just write all of the books and then you just tick them off as you go along, which I might do once I decide all of the big books that I actually want to read. Here I have a page tracker. So I haven't filled in yet, but I've, you know, been keeping notes on another journal for the moment while I was getting this reading journal done. But I have in green, read 50 plus pages, orange, read 100 plus pages, brown, didn't read, and purple, read less than 50 pages. So that's what I'll be doing here. So it's a typical tracker. You have 1 to 31 here, and you have each column for the months of the year. Now this one I also picked up as a free template somewhere online. I think it was through Pinterest that I found these trackers. All right, now here, this is my 2 pages on my reading stats for 2019. Now I'm gonna have my star ratings here. So as you can see, I just took some stars that I had from stickers that were given to me by the lovely Noria. And I've put here 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And as you can see, I've already ticked off 1 4-star, 1 1-star, and I can tick here 1 5-star. Because so far I have rated 3 books, even though I have read 4. So that's how I'm going to be doing. I'm just going to tick them until I get to the end. And then I can just count how many of each that I've got very easily. Then I have down here the genre. So I have graphic novels, literary fiction, contemporary, nonfiction, YA, middle grade, sci-fi, fantasy, short stories. All right. Then on the right side, I have release dates. Because, you know, I noticed on my last Goodreads breakdown that a lot of the books I read were like, they were all very contemporary. They were all like, you know, at 2000 and up or something. Or there were very few that were, you know, before 1960. So I thought doing this would be a way for me to keep better track and maybe entice me to read older books. So I've broken it down by 2019, and you see there's just a bar. I don't know if you can see my bar because it's in yellow, but there's a bar there, and I will just be ticking them off like that. So you have 2019, 2017 to 2018, 2010 to 2016, 2000 to 2009, and before 1999. Now I've already ticked off 2 already right there. I also have author gender, male, female. Then I have my formats: hardcover, paperback, ebooks, audiobooks, review copies. So that's down here in that. So those are going to be my reading stats for 2019. And these balloons also are stickers. I didn't draw these. They came from the lovely Noria in a little sticker book like this called What a Beautiful Day. And inside you have all kinds of stickers. So I'm loving this one quite a bit. All right, next I have, this is my new release page. All right, my new release. So I've just put new release down there, put some stickers on the side. And this time what I did was I used these stamps to stamp the months of the year in French. So I just quickly divided the paper into 12 and put the stamps. And then what I'm going to do, as you can see, is I am just simply writing the date and the title of the book. So for example, I have an orchestra. Here I have my short stories red tracker. So I'm simply going to color in a square when I have read a short story. So it's not going to be complicated. I can color it in whatever color I want. If I don't read one, I don't color it in. So as you can see, I haven't colored anything in because I haven't read any short stories yet. So I'm already starting bad with that one. But, you know, hey, I'm going to stick with it and I'm going to see how many of these squares I can get filled in. Next, I have my reading challenges. So I have here basically just, I'm going to be making lists of the books that I read that fit the challenge. So this will be where I note all of my Caribbean lit books. And then over here, I have my second reading challenge, which is my Easy Rollins series challenge. I love me some Easy Rollins from Walter Mosley. I've already read Devil in a Blue Dress. I read Death, White Butterfly, and Black Betty. I read all of these last year, but I'm hoping to get at least, if possible, down to Cinnamon Kiss. Would be kind of nice, you know, or if possible, finish the series. But I only own books up to Little Scarlet. So I don't own any, I don't own the last 5 books in the series. So we'll see how that works out. All right, now here I have January, which is just a simple, you know, I didn't do anything, you know, particular for this. I just wrote January as a title page. I might decorate it later if I get a chance, but for the moment, I'm not really feeling like doing that. Okay, my next page is this calendar. This is going to be my setup calendar. And what it's going to do is, this is where I'm going to keep track of all of my bookish events, whether it be book club or whether, you know, I'm going somewhere to see somebody speak about literature. So far I just have, now this is a template that I got off of a blog. It was free. I had to cut it out and everything, but that's okay. And this was good because you can write in the numbers how you want. It's an open calendar. So you can use it for, you know, whatever year you want. Now, I just simply wrote in the numbers in black with this 08 uni pen. It's a fine line and it writes really well. I really like this one. It's a really good pen. So I was using that one to write the numbers in. And then I wrote my first event in here, which was to go see Tash Ow. And I saw him on Wednesday and it was fantastic. So my next bookish event is on the 26th of January when I have my book club and we are reading Infidèle. So this is where I write some little notes about, you know, if I have to do any blogs or reviews or anything like that. I'll write little notes here. Okay, next I have this page, which is the currently reading page. Okay, so this one isn't up to scratch because I haven't written one of the books in. But what I'm going to be doing is either I'm going to be keeping track by page numbers or by parts, or by chapters. So I'll make a box. Here, these have are all being tabbed by page numbers. So this one, it was 142 pages, but this was a graphic novel. So I read it in one sitting. So there was only one box. Over here, I have The Other Americans, which I've been reading gradually over this month because it's a big book. I'm around almost page 300, but I haven't filled that part in. I just filled in up to 200 for the moment. And then up here at the top, I have Un Trou dans le Ciel, which was the first book I read in 2019, this year. And I did this one by pages, but I basically read this one in 2 sittings. It was a very short book. So I will either be, like I said, keeping track by page numbers, or it'll be by parts. So part 1, part 2, part 3. Part 1 will be in one box like that, or by chapters. So if it's a really, really long book, I'll make 45 or 100 boxes, and it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4 like this. And I will, you know, color in each time I read a chapter. So that's what I'll do for this currently reading page. And I'm going to see if this works. It's simply done. It's just a box, and I've just shaded the outside to give it a little bit of a look, but you know, it's nothing, you know, particular. And then here is where the reading journal part starts. So what I'm going to be doing is, for example, we have the Other Americans. I've been taking notes, but I've taken them over in a little cheap old notebook, which I will eventually transfer here. And this is like where I'll write all of my little notes and quotes and things that I find that I liked or whatever that are important. I will then be writing them here in the journal. So I'll just put, like you see here, you see the title, the name of the author, the publisher, the year it's published, my rating, and this is space for my notes. So that's pretty much it. That's how it's going to go down. Okay, so we're going to see if that works. I might even turn around and make a page, for example, to keep track of the books that I buy in the year, how much money I spent on buying books, how many books were sent to me for review, and how many books were sent as that I received as gifts. So I might do another page like that, but if I do, it'll be at the end of January. So after my January notes, I'll put that page, because I don't really have, well, I could actually put it here. I could put that page at the beginning. I think that's probably what I'll do, is I'll put a page here right next to my social media that actually tracks how much money I've spent on books and how many books I've received and how many books I've given away, because I will be culling during the year, and I'll be culling shelf by shelf because I need to do that again. I haven't done it in 3 years, I think. So that is the setup for my journal, and you know, like you see that, you know, I'll have this pocket in case I have to take my journal out with me, and I have these 2 really nice markers here that you can see, which is really nice having 2 markers and not just 1, because the Moleskine only has 1 marker. And another good thing is the pages are a lot thicker than Moleskine. So yeah, this is it. This is my reading journal. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any other questions, you know, you can just drop them below. Why don't you comment below and tell me if you guys are doing reading journals, and if you've done a reading journal video, you know, let me know that you've done one so I can go and watch it, because I really like watching the way people set up their reading journals and their bujos, because you can really get some fantastic ideas. It's in a way of personalizing your journal even more. So that's all I have for you today. Bye.